You've worked all day, you've answered all the messages, you've handled all of the tasks, but nothing important actually moved forward. The end result, you feel exhaustion without any sort of satisfaction. The reality is, we've all been there. You are not lazy, I promise you. You're not unmotivated, you're not bad at focus. Your brain is simply overwhelmed with decisions and overwhelmed by the pivots you're making throughout the day. You're not running out of time, you're running out of mental capacity. Our brains have only so much decision making power each day. This is why I recommend block scheduling administrative tasks and removing distractions. One of the mistakes I make, my clients make, and we can get pulled into this rabbit hole so easily. We get distracted by our cell phones. We get distracted by notifications on our computers, whether it's an email, a WhatsApp message from a client, a request from an employee. And then our brain is pulled away from the tasks that we had at hand. And we only have so much brain power every single day before we hit a point of exhaustion. This is why block scheduling your time, removing distractions, and staying focused instead of multitasking helps you protect your brain power throughout the day so that you are more successful and moving the needle forward with the important tasks at hand. What is decision fatigue? Well, our brain has, like, you start at 100% capacity if you happen to sleep well that day. And it might be a lower percentage than 100 if you're not feeling well, you are getting over a cold, you didn't sleep well, whatever that is. That's what we start with. And then throughout the day, simple decisions like what outfit you're going to wear, to important decisions like which strategy forward am I going to use for growing my pipeline in my business. They both require an extraordinary amount of decision making power. And the more decisions we put on our path each day, it fatigues the brain and it drains the brain of energy. This is why, for me, the night before, I like to lay out my outfit for the gym, my outfit for the day, so that when I wake up in the morning, I'm not using crucial, fresh brain power for decisions that are simple ones. I do overnight oats for my breakfast so that I don't need to think or decide about what my breakfast is. I am trying to create as much autopilot and habitual progress and momentum every morning as possible so that I can protect my decision making brain power for the decisions that matter, for the tasks that matter, so that I can remain focused and vigilant and move the needle forward on important tasks. One thing I want you to do is every single morning, and I like to decide this the night before, again, to protect my brain and the freshness and that 80 to 100% capacity that's there first thing in the morning. I like to think about what is the one thing that I want to achieve the next morning. And it should be one thing that's going to help make everything else in my life easier, ideally. What is the one thing that's going to move the needle forward the fastest in your business? And then for me, after I work out, that's the first thing I am going to focus on and remove distractions until I achieve that one thing. Another thing I want to bring to the front for you. Entrepreneurs get hit really hard. We have so many distractions. We have employees that need our attention, that have prioritization or tasks that we need to review. We have to switch roles constantly. You're the CEO, you're the marketer, you're customer support, you're sales, you're the admin, your finance, your operations. You also need to switch between contextual work. So you're in a creative mode at one point, then you're in admin and task mode, then you're in, you know, therapy mode with a client, perhaps. Every time we make these pivots and switches, it's exhausting the brain. That's why I recommend protecting your schedule, removing distractions as you do work. So if you're the kind of person where notifications distract you and you can't stay focused, turn the notifications off and get that one thing done. Additionally, block scheduling specific days or specific times of the day for client facing interactions versus creating actions like writing, creating something new for your business versus employee time. When we block schedule our time, It allows the brain to streamline and build that habit for that particular type of activity, that particular type of work stream. When we jump back and forth between our sales hat, our marketing hat, our admin hat, our finance hat, and we expect the brain to perform optimally, you're going to be sorely disappointed all the time. That is not how our brain works. To optimize that, you must understand the perfect day for you. If you're really great at writing, creating first thing in the morning, do it in the morning. If that's better for you in the afternoon or late at night, do it then. And make sure your calendar reflects what's optimal for your brain, for your personality, for your spirit, and then protect your calendar. Stick with that. The biggest thing I want to bring to your attention is our world has never been noisier. The whole point of marketing and sales these days and social media platforms is to create clickbait. They want you to click it, they pull the bait, and then you are stuck scrolling and you've lost minutes, possibly hours of your day. Because the world is so noisy, we get to be hyper vigilant to protect our brains, protect our time, protect our attention. The invisible cost of this in your business. When we are bombarded with decision making fatigue and we're not protecting it, this shows up in the form of procrastination. You're procrastinating on strategic work that's the important stuff. You're procrastinating on doing the work that's for your business, on the business. You have delayed launches. You're avoiding difficult conversations, whether it's with an employee, a business partner, a client. You have reactive leadership instead of proactive problem solving leadership. You're overworking at night and probably overworking on the weekends. And it's showing up in your relationships at home, in your friendships, in your communities. And that creates burnout. It creates exhaustion. It creates overwhelm. It creates unhealthy environments, and your body will feel it. And it's not always, the burnout isn't always just caused by working too many hours. It's caused by making too many decisions and not having systems to help you streamline your activity so that you are set up for success. The suggested fix for this and the solution: reduce the number of decisions you're making every day. Not increase your discipline, but reduce the decisions. And I've already seeded and mentioned several ways to do this throughout this session. If you didn't catch them, go back, re-listen to this, and write down all the ideas, and then choose one or two you can implement today. Okay? Reduce the decisions and start your morning and start your day with the number one task that's going to make everything else in your life and business easier. Even if you just do that, your life will be astronomically better because you'll be growing every single morning. Now, I know you're not perfect too, so you're going to have mornings where you just don't feel good, and that's okay. And maybe success in that context, because your brain maybe is at 40%, is taking rest and going really hard the next day after you're feeling fully fueled and you have that brain power. There's nothing worse than trying to force ourselves into strategic action and strategic decisions when we are not our best selves. And this goes back to a conversation we had previously on the podcast about peak form. For us to be showing up for peak performance, we have to evaluate where our peak form is. If you're at 40%, it is probably not the day to make big decisions or work on big solutions. It's the day to go after admin tasks, keep it simple, and maybe get some rest. So reduce the decisions, don't increase the discipline, don't increase more hours. Here is my reflective question for you today. I want you to decide for yourself, what is one decision that you keep making every day, but you could automate it this week? Or what is the one thing you've been avoiding for the last year that would make your business and life so much easier? Put that in the comments. Share the thing you're going after so we can hold you accountable. And then maybe a week or two later, let us know how it's going because you took action on that one thing. Let us know what this opened up in your energy, in your business. And let us know if any of these solutions are working for you. We want to hear from you. And then, of course, if this resonated for you and you know of other people in your sphere of influence in your world that would benefit from this because they're feeling that overwhelmed, they're feeling that burnout. Please share this with them. Our whole point of Inspiration Contagion and our company is to help and support change makers, to allow them to be a brighter light in this world, to allow them to be even more inspired and to continue to fuel that inspiration as they grow their community, as they grow their business. You've got this. I'll see you next time.